This is not that kind of vegan, and we're making smoky eggplant bacon.
Hi, it's Aurora and Rick and Bacon. We made our smoky eggplant bacon because there were so many veganizing challenges that have bacon as an ingredient.
There's 100 eggplant bacon recipes on YouTube, but everyone we saw used either gluten or some kind of sugar. So we made our own recipe that's like everything on our channel. It's vegan, gluten-free, and processed sugar-free.
And it's delicious as It's crispy and chewy, and you can put it on everything. So let's get started.
First, we'll slice off our fingers.
Let's grab our first eggplant. We recommend choosing a male eggplant, which you can identify by the dot instead of a slot-shaped end.
Male eggplants have fewer seeds and are less bitter than female eggplants. And that's all I'm going to say on the subject.
Next, you'll need a mandolin slicer. A mandolin slicer allows consistently thick slices so your pieces will cook at the same rate.
Adjust your slicer to 1/8 of an inch and you'll have that perfect bacon thickness. And use that finger guard. Let's keep this a vegan recipe.
So put that aside and grab that eggplant. Using a big knife, cut the ends off the eggplants.
Then cut it into halves and quarters. One eggplant will fill up a medium cookie tray, so plan for that.
And put those quarters aside. Now grab your mandolin and use your finger guard. Give it sure, confident strokes.
If you give it sure, confident strokes, we promise it'll call you back later in the week, boo. After you slice the first quarter eggplant, give your pieces a sanity check.
Make sure you have nice, consistent slices before you ruin them all. But if you're feeling confident, cut up your remaining quarters.
And then using your knife, sweep the eggplant slices directly towards your stomach.
Next, we'll make the marinade.
A lot of what makes bacon taste so great is really the natural smoky flavors and not the meat itself. And a good marinade can not only give you those flavors and aromas, but it'll prepare the eggplant to take on the right texture.
So in your bowl, add the oil, the Bragg's liquid aminos, the liquid smoke,
Paprika, a little cayenne, and fresh cracked pepper. Now give that a thorough whisking, and I mean really get in there. And already your kitchen is going to start smelling wonderful.
You can use a spoon to take a closer look and you'll see it separates. So make sure you give it a good whisk so the eggplant can evenly absorb the marinade. Now just grab your first strip and dunk it in.
Let it soak and turn it over. You can already see strips of color. Now add 2 or 3 more strips at a time, turning them over and letting them absorb the mix.
Keep turning it over and let it get in there. Now, many recipes call for brushing on the marinade, but soaking them in a bowl is effort-free and the eggplant will really absorb the marinade.
And you don't have all day to paint eggplant, trust me. And this will free up your time to troll on Facebook.
Once the strips are evenly coated, just let them soak. Seriously, stop disturbing the eggplant.
Now's a good time to preheat your oven to 300 degrees. And we're going to soak that for another 10 minutes or so or until your oven is ready.
And you're ready for the next step. Now let's bake your eggplant. Grab your baking tray, add a baking rack if you have one, cover in parchment, place your first strip.
Then use your witch powers to distribute the rest using only magic. Crack a bunch of pepper over your sheet. And it's ready for the oven.
Many of you ask us, what's it like living by the beach in Mexico? Well, it's very peaceful and tranquil.
So after you've baked the first side for 30 minutes, we'll go to the next step.
Now we'll flip and bake side 2. Remove the tray from the oven. Then using that witch magic, flip all the eggplant strips over all at once.
I said it once.
Then they go right back into the oven. Set your timer for 30 minutes, but be prepared to let them sit longer if you like extra crisp.
And when you feel like they're done, you're done.
If you've never had eggplant bacon before, you're in for a treat. It adds so much to so many great recipes with crispy textures and concentrated flavors and aromas.
And just look at it, it's amazing from any angle.
You mean my nails, right?
So give your pieces a poke to make sure they're all really done.
You definitely want some variation from crispy to chewy. And now you're ready to serve. First, we couldn't help immediately making a BLT or two.
And I have to say, for a vegan couple who doesn't care about such things, we were both really going crazy for all the smoky bacon flavors. And like some people feel about bacon, we just couldn't stop.
Make sure to cut some up for recipes, and while it won't all make it into the freezer, it does freeze great. And look for our recipes using bacon. We can start with Gouda mac and cheese, where we totally use whatever was left.
And then we dug into a second sandwich. And finally, I was invited to share. And then I got some. Would you like us to veganize your favorite dish? Leave us a comment below, and if you're not a troll, we'll pick the most inspired suggestions for future episodes. And please subscribe and like, it really does help us so much. Then head on over to our blog, notthatkindofvegan.com, for recipes and amounts. And remember,
anything you can make,
You
we
can
can
make
make vegan.
vegan.